It's 10 to 5 now. You're listening to Drive Time with Lucy White tonight. Now, it is a hazard many of us are all too familiar with, particularly at this time of day. Lots of people heading home, roads full of potholes. The BBC's Panorama is airing a special programme on it, in fact. It's available now on iPlayer, and they've been talking to one woman, Lynn, whose husband Gary was killed after his motorbike hit a pothole.
Angry, because that could have been avoided. Because it wasn't a little pothole. Why was it not repaired? We pay our taxes to help for the repair of the roads. They need to be more mindful about not just the main roads and the motorways, but the minor roads as well. In my eyes, potholes are life-threatening because they took my husband's life.
Yeah, so why are potholes so common, and why do so many councils struggle to keep on top of them? Let's speak to the Edinburgh-based consumer expert Scott Dixon. Scott, you also frequently campaign on poor roads conditions. How bad are things out there?
The state of the roads is shocking, Lucy, and I think all the listeners will agree. And road maintenance has been underfunded for years, but a huge part of the problem is utility firms digging up the roads, usually after they've been resurfaced, and not reinstating them properly. The trenches are not sealed properly at the edges, so water gets in, it freezes and expands and breaks the road up, and that creates the potholes. And councils are not consistently checking the repairs afterwards and enforcing the repairs to be done properly and charged back to the contractors.
What are your rights when it comes to potholes? Because it seems to be a little bit of a grey area from what I'm aware of.
Well, knowing how to claim for pothole damage is increasingly difficult, Lucy, and it's due to councils moving to what's called a revised risk-based approach on inspections. And years ago, councils used to have policies which specified exactly that if a pothole was X millimetres deep, it would be fixed. And that made it a black and white decision. But now staff have to consider a variety of factors without any specific mention of depth dimensions. And this means that one inspector may choose to instruct a repair, whereas another would not. So what was a black and white decision is now a grey area, and it is for their own benefit to deny claims because it's watered down the inspection regime.
Yeah, and obviously they can have extreme consequences. We just heard from Lynn there, whose husband was killed because of a pothole, but they can also have just expensive consequences for drivers too.
Yeah, and the RSC cited recently that the average repair cost was £590 for damage to vehicles. And it damages your springs, your tyres, your alloys. And these are life-threatening as well. I mean, a few years ago, I hit dislodged tarmac on the way to the Gyle on a scooter, and it nearly threw me off. And because the damage to my scooter, it was below a certain threshold, they paid out, but initially they suggested I claim on my insurance, and that, why should anybody have to claim on their insurance when the councils are liable for maintaining the roads? It's just not fair, and it's just not on.
I'm sure there's a lot of people nodding in agreement at home. Scott, thank you so much. Scott Dixon there, Edinburgh-based consumer expert. I wonder if you've come across many lately. The text is 80295. Let us know. And also, if you're particularly interested, as I'm sure lots of people are, Panorama, the pothole programme, it's on iPlayer now, or you can watch it on BBC One tonight at 8 o'clock.